Let me ask you something kind of weird. Would you let your ex babysit your puppy? Exactly. Now imagine giving them the keys to your fridge, your Netflix, and your life savings. That's kind of what most people do with their banks. Hey there, let's talk about how we're accidentally letting banks babysit our wallets like they're responsible grown-ups with juice boxes and emergency contact numbers, when really, they're more like that sketchy cousin who says, "Trust me, I know what I'm doing," right before crashing your bike into a mailbox. Now let's bring in Eva. If you've been here before, you know Eva. She's smart, independent, allergic to sketchy vibes, and the proud owner of a budgeting spreadsheet color-coded like a rainbow threw up on it. But once upon a time, even Eva trusted the bank to take care of her money. She thought it was safe there. Like a piggy bank with a security guard and a coffee machine. She set up direct deposit, had a savings account, even got a debit card with a picture of a mountain on it. It looked peaceful. But that peaceful mountain turned out to be the financial equivalent of Mount Doom. Let me explain. Eva was saving religiously, like skip lattes and make Pinterest salads kind of saving. And then one day she decided to look at her interest earnings for the year. Drumroll, her $10,000 in savings had earned her 39 cents. $3.19. Not even enough to buy one of those sad airport sandwiches in plastic wrap. At first, she thought it was a mistake. So she did what we all do when something financial feels wrong. She Googled it, got confused, then texted Paul. Paul, by the way, is her friend who still thinks compound interest is something you get at a dentist. He replied with, "Yo, that's robbery." She agreed. Because here's what Eva realized. While her money sat politely in a savings account earning breadcrumbs, the bank was using it like a college kid uses their roommate's stuff. They lent it out, flipped it, invested it, charged other people 10 to 20% interest on it. Her money was working overtime for them. And what did she get in return? An email that said, "Congratulations, you've earned interest this quarter." Like she just won the lottery. Only the lottery was rigged, and the prize was $3. Now you might be thinking, well, Eva should just move her money to a high-yield account. She did. But then she looked up the word high yield and realized it now means maybe 4% if the stars align and the Fed feels generous. And that's before taxes and inflation slap it back down. So Eva started asking a dangerous question. What if banks aren't actually babysitting our wallets? They're just keeping them too sleepy to notice. Let's do a quick reality check. You put your money in the bank. You think it's safe, protected, guarded by lasers and retired Navy SEALs. But what's actually happening? The bank takes your deposit, legally keeps a fraction of it, then uses the rest to lend at much higher rates. They invest it, flip it, rinse and repeat. And what do you get? Online access. Customer support that sounds suspiciously like a robot with seasonal allergies, and an interest rate that rounds down to zero. It's like putting your dog in daycare, only to find out the daycare entered it in a dog race and made $2,000, while you got a photo and a generic treat bag. Now, Eva didn't lose her mind. She didn't pull all her money and bury it in mason jars in the backyard next to her rosemary bush. She just stopped outsourcing her thinking. She realized banks were good at keeping money accessible, but terrible at helping it grow. So she came up with a new rule. Don't let the bank babysit your wallet. Teach it to walk, work, and bring snacks. Her first move? She opened a brokerage account. Scary at first, sure, but she took it slow. Started with index funds. Stuff even Warren Buffett calls the chillest way to not go broke in retirement. Every month, she transferred a portion of her paycheck straight into investments. Before she could touch it, before DoorDash could whisper sweet nothings, she called it her pre-spending tax. Second move? She switched her emergency fund to a cash management account with better yield. Still liquid, still safe-ish, but earning enough to actually feel like her money was awake, not on a beach somewhere drinking pina coladas. Third move? She built a freedom budget. Not a don't buy lattes budget, not a guilt trip spreadsheet. This one was about directing her money, like a bossy film director with a megaphone. Okay, $500, you're going to bills, don't screw it up. $200, go earn your keep in that ETF. $50, you're going to the fun pile. Treat Eva nice. She gave every dollar a job. Because money without a mission gets bored, gets lazy, buys things you didn't plan for and can't spell. And here's what started to happen. Eva's money stopped playing defense and started playing offense. She didn't make millions overnight. There was no dramatic glow-up montage with inspirational music and champagne in slow motion. But after a few months, she noticed something wild. She wasn't stressed every time a bill popped up. She wasn't relying on overdraft protection like a financial life raft. And she definitely wasn't waiting on her bank to hand her $5 and call it growth. Because now her money was doing things. Small things, quiet things, but powerful things. Her brokerage balance, growing. Her emergency fund, actually earning something. Her credit card interest, gone, paid off in full every month. And her confidence, through the roof. Because once you stop trusting the bank to manage your wallet like a responsible adult, you start becoming the adult your money's been waiting for. And trust me, your money's been waiting. Waiting for you to wake up and say, hang on, I can manage this. I can build something. I don't need a babysitter. I need a blueprint. And that blueprint starts with awareness, not fear, not guilt, not shame. Just clear-eyed awareness of how the game really works. And Eva, she's just getting started. Because once she got out of financial babysitting mode, she realized there were levels to this. Investments, passive income, smart risk, ownership. All things no bank is going to teach you while you're waiting for them to approve a $45 transfer to Venmo your friend for pizza. But she didn't do it all at once. She made tiny upgrades, each one designed to give her more control, more return, and more freedom. And the best part? She started teaching Paul. Which is hilarious because Paul once thought an ETF was a sandwich. Now he's out here quoting expense ratios and dividend yields like it's his love language. All because Eva stopped letting the bank babysit her wallet and started raising it like a tiny CEO. And that shift is where everything starts to change. Because once you stop outsourcing your financial future to a building with a logo and jazz music playing in the background, you start seeing things for what they really are. Paul didn't become a money wizard overnight. Let's be honest, he still thought Roth IRA was a Marvel character, but he did start small. Eva helped him automate his savings. Nothing fancy, just $50 a week straight into a brokerage account. At first, he freaked out. Wait, what if I need that money for emergencies? To which Eva, sipping a smoothie like a financial Yoda, said, "That's what your emergency fund is for. This is your don't want to work forever fund." Paul paused, then whispered, "Carry on." He also started tracking his spending. Not in a spreadsheet, let's not scare the man, but with a free app. The kind that guilt trips you gently, like, hey, you spent $312 on takeout this month. Blink twice if you're okay. Paul blinked 3 times, so he made a rule. No more food deliveries on weekdays. Weekends? Sure. Tuesdays at midnight because he forgot to eat? Hard pass. The crazy thing? He didn't feel deprived. He felt in charge. Because once you start directing your money instead of chasing it, even tiny decisions feel powerful. He and Eva even made a game of it, called Who Grew It Best. Each month, they compared which of their investments performed better. Eva usually won, but Paul got a huge ego boost when his boring dividend ETF pulled ahead during a market dip. He strutted around like he'd invented capitalism. And look, this wasn't some get-rich-quick montage. This was the slow burn, the kind of change that stacks over time. Month 1, savings went up, stress went down. Month 2, credit card balance started shrinking, sleep started improving. Month 3, they both opened up separate dream funds. Eva's was for starting her business full-time. Paul's, a trip to Japan and maybe laser eye surgery so he could finally ditch his foggy glasses during ramen slurping sessions. And month by month, they stopped reacting to money and started orchestrating it. Eva described it best. My money used to feel like a toddler in a shopping cart, always grabbing things, knocking stuff over. Now it's like a barista who knows my order, gets it done, and minds its business. She even helped their friend Joyce get started. Joyce, who once believed investing was for finance bros with 6 monitors and protein shakes. Now she's stacking growth stocks, contributing to her TFSA, and casually explaining inflation-adjusted returns at brunch. The movement was growing. People weren't just managing money, they were empowering it. They were done being babysat, done handing over responsibility and hoping for the best. Because let's be real, your bank isn't plotting your downfall, but it's not plotting your escape either. It's a tool, a parking spot, a temporary holding pen. It's like putting your dog in a crate and expecting it to do backflips and fetch the paper. The crate is safe, but the yard, that's where the adventure is. That's where the real stuff happens, when you take control. Now, Eva still uses her bank, she pays bills, swipes her card, collects her points, but now, the majority of her financial action happens outside those walls. She's got her brokerage account, her high-yield savings for emergencies, her small but mighty portfolio of digital products and dividend stocks, her automation rules that move money around like it's got places to be, and her spreadsheet, still rainbow-coded. But now it comes with a side of confidence, because she's not waiting for someone in a boardroom to give her permission. She's not trusting a babysitter to raise her wallet. She's doing it herself, with intention, with systems, and with a growing crew of friends who finally get it. Paul says it best now, "I used to think money was complicated. Now I know it was just unsupervised." The difference? He showed up. He became the adult in the room. He and Eva still make mistakes. They still overspend sometimes. They still roll their eyes at bank fees and wonder who approved that design for the new $20 bill. But now they're playing the right game, the long game, and they're playing it on their own terms. So in conclusion, if you've been letting the bank babysit your wallet, it's time to pick it up, wipe the juice off its chin, and teach it how to stand. Because banks are built to hold money, not grow it, not protect it from inflation, not whisper sweet financial wisdom in your ear. That's your job now. And it doesn't require perfection, just awareness. It doesn't need a six-figure income, just discipline. And it definitely doesn't require a finance degree, just curiosity, a plan, and maybe a spreadsheet that isn't terrifying. The second you stop waiting for someone else to handle your money and start treating it like a little employee with goals and direction, that's when everything shifts. Your savings, your stress, your future. Don't wait. Don't outsource. And definitely don't let your wallet be raised by someone who sees it as an income stream for them. Be the boss. Be the builder. And teach your money to work as hard as you do. If you want me to make other videos explaining these topics, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.